Hi everyone, welcome to today. Today's workout will be all over the place. And it's nothing classical, just letting you know now. Um, so here we go. We're on the mat. We are going to lay back onto your back. Go ahead and pull the knees in towards your chest, kind of rock side to side. Perhaps go ahead and get a couple hamstring stretches, point and flex the toes, all that good stuff. Maybe run around a little bit, twist of the hip. That's whatever you want. Okay, so what we are starting with are some arm and neck motions. So actually, let me go ahead and transition this a little bit. Sorry if that bothers you that I'm not on the on the mat. Our arms are up to the ceiling. Our feet are planted for right now. We are pulling the shoulders down towards the floor. We are picking them up to reach the ceiling and pulling them down. Good. Lift and lower. Reach and pull. Good. If you need a little more coordination or abs, go ahead and bring those knees into tabletop. Inhale in and exhale. So reach the ceiling, reach the floor, lift and lower, lift and lower, reach. Good. Here's three more and two. Last one. Good. So know that this is just an option. You can bring your feet back down. Hands are now going to face each other. They are going to press the walls away, pull them back together. So just have a nice brisk motion here for these shoulder blades. Push and pull. If there's any popping or clicking, have that range be a little shorter or smaller. Good. Reach and pull, reach and pull. Here's four more. Three, lift, two, lift, last one. Fantastic. All right, now from here, I want you to prop yourself up onto your forearms. So if this means you're going to have to rock forward a little bit, you're going to press the forearms back down towards the floor behind you. You're just kind of a little inflated here. Now, same action. If you need a little more coordination, pull those knees in tabletop. I want you to look up towards the ceiling and sink in towards your shoulders, or in towards the floor, I should say. Press up and then look towards your knees. So sink and look up, look towards your knees. Look to the ceiling and sink. Push up and away and neutral. Good. So if you're in knees and tabletop, obviously that'll be just a little less range to push up. But it'll really get a good stretch of the front of the shoulder, hopefully. So right where that shoulder faces the world in front of you, that bone, and where they articulate. And lower, lift, last two, last one, and release. Good. Come back down, laying onto your back. Last weird one that we have here are huge arm circles. So standard issue, hands are going to go back behind you, swim around to come in, lift, over and around. Inhale up and out. Try to keep your rib cage hugged onto the floor. Inhale up, exhale over and away. Last three. Good. Two. One more this direction and reverse. Press the hands down to the hip, out to the wall and over. Take it along, around, along, around. Reach and up, reach. Good. And just last three, last two, and one. Good. Rest the hands back down. Keep the feet there or bring them back to the floor. Now we're going to have the true 100. So this is some semblance of normal. We're going to rock up, be as high as you can onto that mid rib cage and shoulder. Then press the hands forward to the wall. Maybe extend the legs long as well. Whatever is your fancy. Big inhale, pump the arms. And an exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And inhale. Deep exhale. And inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale. Try to play around with different attire today. It's kind of fun. And inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. And an exhale. One inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last two. And out. Last one, and inhale. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest the head and shoulders, rest the legs down, rock the legs side to side and that low back just so you get some space, and then we'll be moving on. All right, so from here, I'll be back on my mat correctly. Go ahead and straighten your legs long. We are moving into a half roll up. So the hands will touch the ceiling. We'll look towards the toes. We'll reach towards the toes, but we won't come up. We'll lift the shoulders off, so you'll be tiny up, and then roll back down. Inhale here, exhale, curl, lift, and release. Good. So if you can pick your shoulder blades up, but keep your base of the rib cage down, do that. Inhale here, exhale, roll, and out. Good. Forward, lift, lift. Reach 3 more, and back. Lift. Good. If this bothers your neck, just leave your head down and try to lift your shoulders up by way of your hands reaching to the wall. Good. I know I gave that a little bit too late in your modification, but I apologize. Okay, from here, we are bringing the legs up towards the ceiling. So have the feet flex, toes pulled back towards you. Now from here, try to reach one leg down towards the floor, bring it back up. Reach the opposite and lift. Reach, lift, reach, lift. If going all the way down bothers your hip bones at all, just go ahead and go to a hover. Reach, hover, and back. Hover and lift. Try to keep your feet nice and even once they come back into return, and lift, reach, lift, reach. And here's 3 more each side. And 2. Good. Last one, right? Up, last one left. And release. Good. Pull the knees in. So hopefully you're finding this out, but that half roll up going forward is more of these kind of upper and rib cage type of abs that we're working on. Hopefully stabilizing that leg was more mid to maybe a little lower abs. On this last portion, it'll be full low abs. What? I know. It was tricky there. Tricky. I always want to get your brain working different ways. Okay, so for the low abs, you're going to have hands either planted behind you or they can be supporting your hands. So wherever is better for your tailbone, if you have a great amount of stability on that tailbone, go ahead and come up to this hinged point. If you don't have as much, go ahead and bring your hands behind you. Where we are going is we are going to straighten, bend, lower, lift. Straighten, bend, lower, lift. Hands can stay there the whole time. Straighten, bend, lower, lift. So if you're back here, straighten, bend, lower, lift. Straighten, bend. Maybe try both. Just see which one you feel like you can engage your low abs better in. Sometimes holding the back of your legs gets you too much into your arms to actually help and support, and your low core can't focus. So here we go. Lift, straighten, bend, lower. Lift, straighten, bend, lower. Straighten, and down. Lift. I don't know, we're just going to keep going. And here's for one more. Reach and release. Good. I understand that's also a lot of hip flexors, so go ahead and rock side to side. Awesome. Okay, see, hardest part practically is done. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and straighten the legs long. Old school stretch. So instead of a full roll up, we are going to pull the toes back. We are going to start seated. I want you to have either your hands on the top or the floor, up top of your legs or on the floor. Round over, reach as close to that heel as you can, and then come right back up. So nice inhale here. If you can bring your nose all the way down to your knees, go for it. And release. I can't today, it seems. And reach. And release. Good. 3 more. Just working on the stretch. If you need to just hang out into this stretch for that mid back or lower back, you go for it. Last 2. Round over. Reach forward. Hold. And release. Good. Last one. Round, curl, reach. Hold. And release. Perfect. All right. Back into some semblance of normal. We are moving into our ab series. Okay. So we are here. Now, for your arms, you have a choice. You can use them or not. No problem. If you're not, go ahead and support your head the whole time so that way you aren't actively engaging those neck muscles. You never really should be, but just in case, since your legs will be a lot heavier if you're not holding them, hold behind your head. Okay. So both hands on the right leg. Press that left leg through the wall in front of you and exhale, switch, pull, switch, pull and switch, reach and push. Really try to feel like your knees are staying in their train tracks. They are not bobbing and weaving side to side. None of that. We are on steady ground, not on the waves of the ocean. And here's 3 more. Out, 2, out, 1, out, and a rest. Lower the head and shoulders, maybe bobble the head side to side. Next for our double leg stretch. Same thing if you're not using your hands, this is basically just a bend and straighten. All right, lift the head and shoulders up. Hands are on the lowest part of the shin. Hands and feet go away from each other. So they try to push the walls opposite away. From there, swim the arms around. Pull the legs all the way back into the body so you give them a hug. Inhale, push them away. Exhale. Very good. Inhale. Exhale, swim 3. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Good. Try not to get that curtain behind me. And out. It'll just make me lift up a little higher. And around. Good. Push. And release. Lift. And around. Last 3. And out. 2. And release. Last one. Reach, reach. Pull, pull. And release. Good. Rocking side to side, perhaps getting a happy baby since a lot of our hip flexors are working harder than normal if you have no hands. Moving on to our scissors. Both legs tall to the ceiling. Let's point the toes. I know you can't really see them, but toes are pointed. Both hands can stay behind the knee, calf, or ankle, wherever you choose. I want you to make sure that you can keep the point and that the hip stays anchored onto the ground. So we're not lifting the hip off of the mat at all. Okay, here we are. Set up, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, switch. You're trying to bring that knee towards your chin and switch, pull, pull. Same thing here in the train tracks, keeping the legs separate but in their own line or their own lane if you're talking about driving. Pull, 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 making sure that hip stays anchored onto the floor. So you're actively pressing that sacrum, that tailbone down towards the mat while your toe reaches to the ceiling. And last 2, out. Last one right, last one left. Pull both legs in, rest the head and shoulders, and wiggle the toes. Awesome. Okay, for the lower and lift, since a lot of our beginning work with the single leg kind of lower and lift did that, we are going into our rhythms. So hands are going to be behind the hips if they need to be, or stay behind the head, whatever is your choice. Lift the head and shoulders up first. Now from there, I want you to bring your heels together and press your toes all the way out in front of you so they're still on the floor. Heels are together, toes are apart. Good. Looking towards your belly button, I want you to really anchor through those heels. Now lift the heels and toes up to the ceiling. Good. Inhale, reach now. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold slowly. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. And last 2. And exhale. Last one, reach. And then pull, 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 pull. Rest the head for a second. Changing the rhythm. We are moving down slowly, coming up quickly. Okay, lift the head and shoulders. Anchor those heels back together. Quickly, slowly go down for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the wall. Now quickly come up. And then slow. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Click. Good. Slow. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Heels are hugging. Lift. And here's 2 more. Reach, hold, quick lift. Last one. Slow down. 2, 3, 4. Hold. Quick up. And rest. Beautiful. Awesome. All right. So make sure those knees are still in their train tracks. Just because we had them turned out with those heels hugging together, hip has enough space. And for your crisscross, hands are going behind the head in case they haven't been already. All right. So today I'm going to do the version where I have one foot staying on the floor as I twist to the opposite. You are more than welcome to carry on into the one where we're both floating in tabletop. So no problems there. I'm going to do this so that way I can work on pressing and grounding through this foot and through this hip into the floor. Okay. Inhale, center, rotate the opposite way. So that means if your knees are in tabletop, if you're doing that option, that leg that's pressing forward, which would be my right leg, is actively pushing and it's lengthening also. Okay? Inhale, center, exhale, twist. Inhale and exhale and reach. Really try to bring that shoulder towards your knee. It's okay if the elbow gets there, but really try to guide as much shoulder to that knee as possible. Pull and switch. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And reach. Good. Last two. Each side. And up. Reach. Good. Last one. Awesome. I went for a little walk on my mat. I'm a little closer to the wall now. All right. So from there, go ahead and straighten the legs out nice and long. Flex those heels so that way your toes are pulled back, heels are pressing forward, and just hold the floor down. Okay. Now that you've actively held the floor down, make sure that those hamstrings and glutes are helping you press into the floor. It's almost as if you're doing a long-legged bridge right here. You should be pressing into the heels hard enough, I should say, that your seat almost feels like it wants to lift up towards the ceiling. Good, now release. Stay nice and even. Once again, press into those heels. Almost feel like you're lifting your seat up off of the floor. And release. Good. 3 more like that. Press and lift. Good, and release. Now, can you feel like you're pressing down but also pushing out? I know, I'm asking for a lot, I understand. Press down, reach out, 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 and release. Good, last one. Press down, reach out, lengthen through the knee, lengthen through the hip, hold, and release. See, don't you feel like you got taller there? It's a good thing. Okay, roll or rock on up to sit. You get a nice little stretch there. All right, so it's fun, right? I know. Crazy things. Now from here, what I'd like is pulling both knees in towards your body. Not full rolling like a ball just yet. We are going to keep the heels together, toes apart, and instead, I would like a seated footwork. Let me scoot back a little bit. Seated footwork pattern. So hands have the option of staying forward or reaching behind you or not touching the floor at all. Neither really influences how much you use your hip flexor. Your hip flexor will still be used quite enough. So just so you know. So we're going to press through the floor, pull, ooh, that's what happens when I have sticky socks on. Pull the floor back towards you, okay? So we're pulling and pushing, in and out. I might just put some on the floor, pull and push. So you're trying to stay as tall as you are in the upper body, just like you would be on normal footwork when you're resting your torso on the carriage. Pull and push. Like I said, you might not need hands. You can just kind of hang out wherever you need to, but really hug those heels together. They are holding on to a piece of gold. Reach, pull, last one, and pull. Good. Now from here, rather than having arches, we're just going to heels on, so that way our heels can stay down, and hug the midline. So now, if you need to actively press those legs together, do so, but also feel like you are pulling in and together from the inner thighs. You press away, you're just guiding with the hands. You're not giving them a really heavy push. No. You're just supporting their hug. Okay? Push and pull. Maybe just give them some train tracks to go in. Okay? Pull and out. And reach. Apologize for using the word okay too many times today already. I have like an internal ticker and I just can hear myself say those words sometimes, and it's not very nice. Now, let's have 2 more. Last one. And a rest. Beautiful. Now, next, instead of moving on to the lower lip, blah, 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 we're moving out to second position. So let me move my mat just a touch. Okay, so heels are about just wider than hip distance apart. We are moving into our lateral rotation first. Same feeling. We are digging the heels down to lift in. So those hamstrings are helping pull the legs in, press the feet away. Pull and push. Now, if you're really starting to stir up a lot of electricity and needs to come back onto your tailbone to just straighten and bend, go ahead and do so, because I understand. I didn't choose the carpet today just because, but I don't know that I probably would be stirring up a lot of static electricity. There's 3 more. And 2. And out. 1. And out. Good. Now, trying to do medial. This one will not come as close towards you. Your heels will stop maybe 2/3 of the way in, and that's okay. Knees, let them do whatever they want to. If they want to go turned out, turned in, let the knees go where they want to. Pull and push. Here's 2 and out. 3 and back. 4. So lifting tall. 5 and 6. My left foot doesn't really want to cooperate with how far in I'm going on my right. There we go. Here's 3 more. Out. 2 and 1. Okay, those hip flexors are nice and ready to roll. This is perfect transition for our swan. Goodness, I tell you, it's these Mondays with all the different kinds of syllables in my brain. Okay, so laying onto your front, hands are pressing, or forearms I should say, are pressing into the mat, so you are lifted in the upper spine. If extension is bothering you today, you are more than welcome to come down into a small pillow, make your hands a pillow and bring your chin towards it. That will save your spine from a lot more extension. From here, now we are stretching out those hip flexors that we just worked. Our right heel kicks the bum 2 times. So kick, kick, straighten the leg and lift. Kick, kick, and lift. And I know, this is not even swan. I know, my body just went there and we're doing single leg kick now. Pull, pull, good, pull, pull. Am I too loud? Pull, pull, okay, pull, pull. I have to be on my best behavior today since my +1 was taking his oral examinations. And pull, pull, switch, pull, pull, and switch. Really feel like you're getting some space between those hip flexors and the hip bone. And pull, pull, switch. So you're actively pressing into the floor through those forearms or through that pillow. And last one, right? Last one left. All right, now we are moving into true swan. One day, everybody. I'll be perfect one day. Okay, so you're looking down towards the mat. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your elbows are pressing up behind you towards the ceiling. Right here, just keep looking at the floor. Lift the hands up, put them down. So drive the elbows up higher and release. Lift the elbows, lower, lift, lower. Last 2 and 1. Good. Rest the shoulders if you need to for a quick second. Now from here, pressing the hands into the floor, tops of the feet into the floor, lift the head and shoulders up and hold. So this one's practically almost like a cobra, but almost like a tricep press as well. Melt back down onto the heart. Press through the floor, lift the body, hold the body, hold the body, hold the body. Melt back down. Inhale and exhale, press. Reach. Cut and release. Try just not to straighten your arms. I know it's tempting, but try to not right now. Press up and hold. Pull those elbows back a little farther. Yeah. And then release. Inhale. Here's 3 more. Press back and hold. Lift. Reach through those hands and fingertips and melt it back down. Good. Here's 2 more. Press, lift, hold, 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 and release. Last one. Press, reach, and hold. Just saw a moth fly behind me and release. Easily distracted I am today. May the 4th be with you though. That is the thing. Okay, so making sure those shoulders are rolled out, all the good things. From here, we are doing every swan sans hand. So if you need to push back into a child's pose to stretch out your back, definitely go ahead and do so. Now, hands are going to be out in front of you. This is also perhaps if you've heard of a Superman or Superwoman, super person flying, that's what we're going to do, except our feet will stay down. So that's the only exception. So inhale here, prepare. Hands are out, shoulder width. Inhale, lift and hold. Now exhale, melt the body back down, release the neck. Inhale, reach the arms and heart up, up, up. And exhale, release. Good. We just have 5 of these total, so 3 more. Big inhale, lift. And release. Good. 2 more. Press into the top of the feet, so lift you up a little higher. And release. Good. Last one. Press up and hold. If your arms are getting a little heavy, go ahead and bring them back towards you. But if you can keep them out there, please do. And then melt. Brilliant. Okay. So if you haven't already, go ahead and press back into a child's pose, getting some stretch through that mid back and lower back. So that way you have plenty of space through there. Beautiful. From here, we are back onto your tummy one more time. We're going to have a small bicycle of the legs in reverse. So hands are now in front of you. Either your chin can rest or your forehead can rest onto them. One leg, doesn't matter if it's right or left, will bend. It will lift the knee up. It will straighten the leg out to the wall behind you and then come down. So here we go again. Bend on 1, lift on 2, straighten on 3, lower on 4. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Bend, lift, straighten, lower. Bend, lift, straighten. If this bothers your back, make sure you are just pressing outwards and not more up. The height may be what's causing some back pain if you find it, but hopefully this will be a pretty clean range. Good. Last one this way. Up, out, and down. Keep that same leg. I want you to lift it straight up. Hold. Pull the heel toward your seat. Hold. Bring the knee down. Straighten that leg. All right, here we go again. Lift straight up. Bend. And then knees down. Leg is straighten. Lift. Bend. Lower. Straighten. It's weird. Lift. Bend. Lower. Straighten. Lift. Bend. Lower. And straighten. Here we go. Lift. Bend. Lower. Straighten. Lift. Bend. Lower. Last 4. Up. Bend. Lower. Down. Last 3. And 2. Oh, it scared me. I don't know. I feel like I have a really drunk moth in the house or something. Sorry, everyone. That was quite frightening. Okay, your other leg. Bend the knee. Yes, bend the knee. Lift the knee. Straighten the leg. Lower the leg. Bend the knee. Lift the knee. Straighten the leg. Lower the leg. Bend. Lift. Oh my gosh. I just don't want to stare at it. Out. And bend, lift, straighten, lower, bend, lift, straighten, lower, bend, lift, straighten. Last 2, bend, up, out, down, bend, up, out, and rest. Now from here, this leg might be completely different, so just monitor how high your leg is going. Lift the leg up, bend the knee, pull the knee down, straighten the leg. Lift the whole leg, bend, lower, straighten, lift, bend, lower, straighten, lift, bend, lower, straighten. As you can kind of tell, my knee doesn't bend like directly underneath me, and that's okay. So don't worry if you're trying to force your knee to the inside. Let your knee bend how it's going to bend, mostly because this is dependent upon like where your hips are just laying. So don't try to force it one way or the other. I just noticed that. Lift, bend, lower, straighten. Last 2. Hopefully you kept going while I was talking. And down. Good. All right, so roll the legs around. Let's get one more child's pose for that stretch. Perfect. Okay, and then we're getting a little kooky. So from here, I'm going to put my socks back on just for kicks. Our body is now into a 4-point stance. Hopefully, this can be relatively okay for just a small amount of time. If you need to adjust or grab something for your hands or your knees, go ahead and do so. Hands are underneath shoulders, knees are underneath hips. We are going to just press through the floor, really pull that ribcage up to the ceiling and hold that stretch in that bed back. Then we're going to depress the chest down, pull the ribcage down, open that tailbone as far as you can, and then we'll have 2 more like that. So really press up and hold the ceiling with your ribcage, pull the body back down, and open the heart, open the tailbone. Last one, press, curl, lift, hold the ribcage tall. And again, pull that rib cage down, open the heart, open the collarbone, and then find neutral. So know right where the middle is. Okay, from here, I'd like for your right leg, well, whatever, one of your legs to come out towards your side and then come right back down. Now, to add on to this motion, we're going out, forward towards your elbow, and then back underneath your hip. So it's a small circle. Go out first, forward to the elbow, and under. Good. Out, forward, under, out, forward, under, 5, and 4 more, good, 3, 2 more, 1 more, over and release. Stay with that same leg, going to the elbow first. So pull the knee forward, push the knee out, come around to come down. Forward, out, around. Lift 3, around. Try to stay nice and even on the hip. 4, good. Out, 5. So you're pressing actively through both hands. Around 6, over 7. Pull 8, and 9, reach. Good. Last one, 10. And release. If you need to stand or roll the wrist around like that, let the knees get some breaks, that's fine. Next, we'll do the same action on your other leg. So wherever you started, we will go out beside you, forward to your elbow, underneath your hip, out, forward and down, out, forward. I know you can't see this one as well. I'll just move a little bit and down, reach. Good. Does not matter how high this is because I want to keep the hips and rib cage square on with the floor. Around. Press, lift, and lower. Out, forward, and down. Last 2, and 1. Good. Now from here, roll the wrist if you need to. We will go right into our reversal. So pull that knee forward to the elbow, out to the wall, down beside you. Forward, out, and under. 3, out and under, 4 and down, 5 around, 6 and out, 7, 8 out, 9, and last one, pull, push, and release. All right, so go ahead and come off of your hands, float back onto your back. Let's going to adjust this a wee bit. Brilliant. Okay, so hopefully that is mostly opening of the side hip. So you'll find kind of most of that tension there. You might find a little bit in that rib cage and mid back, but hopefully that wasn't too stressful. Okay, because even though today's all over the place, it should be a very moderate to easy type feel today. Okay, pulling both knees into tabletop, holding them in tabletop. Hands will be right above your shoulder. Here's where coordination city is going to come in. I want to do the exact same thing we did prone, facing the floor, facing the ceiling in supine. I know. Okay, so let's start with that one leg. Take it out. Make sure this other hip is nice and anchored. This is your true test. If you swiveled too much, bring it up towards your elbow and then right back over your hip. Okay? Out, elbow, hip. So really have to concentrate on keeping your hands in the same place as where they start. I think I just spit on my own face or something. I'm so worried about that moth, everybody. So worried about it. I'll get over it. I'm a big girl and I can do this. And go out, elbow, and up. Out, elbow, and up. Good. Last 4, and in, 3. Now you can tell where gravity is pulling. Hopefully this is working a little more of the inner thigh in your balance. Now reverse. Come up to your elbow, out to the floor, around, and right above to the hip. Elbow, floor, and hip. Yeah, gravity is just a super fun thing. You just, you gotta play around with it every now and then. Out and around. So update tomorrow if you're here. We're using the wall, so that's why I was kind of playing around with this space so I could use that wall behind me. We'll be doing the whole mat with wall assistance. Some of the things will feel like you're on the Cadillac, some of the things will feel like you are on the reformer. Just one more circle this way. I promise I'm counting. And some of it will be supportive, like for example, the things where we sit tall, it'll be like the back of our chair. So just kind of think about it. Join me if you want to. We're ready for the other leg. We are pulling both knees back in the tabletop. We are moving that other leg out. We're pulling it forward towards your elbow and then in towards your hip. So out, elbow, and hip. 3, and in. 4, and in. Try to keep those elbows steady. So that way your knee has a efficient target to get to each time. I know you can't really see this one because my left is not as dexterous as the right. And up, last two, around, lift, last one out, elbow, and over hip. Good. Reverse. So bring it to the elbow first, push it out to the floor second, and bring it over the hip. Elbow, floor, around, lift. Three, and up. Four. I know if I was walking around in the studio, I'd say make sure this other leg is in the perfect tabletop so I can hold my cup of tea. So I was slacking on that. I apologize. I was dropping my foot like I didn't want any tea. And out. Lift. Lately I've had this lovely blueberry green tea. It's been great. Good. Last one. And pull out, around, and release. Awesome. Okay, so go ahead and stretch out those hip flexors because even though most of the work was coming from the inner thigh, hopefully, I do know that it has to take a lot to pull the knee forward towards you. Okay, so now, still facing upwards, we're going to go into a full dead bug. This is just keeping everything in its train tracks. So when you're ready, bring both knees into tabletop, hands are there. If tabletop is just extremely terrible on your back right now, keep the feet down and just move one leg away as like on the floor, like this. Okay, so if you are in dead bug, the opposite arm moves away from the opposite leg. They come back to where they started. Push one leg out, push one arm out, and back. So if you're in tabletop, here we go. Reach out, come home. Reach out, come home. The hardest part is keeping the box between your shoulders and your hip. So you see this imaginary box that I'm holding with my knee in my hand? You gotta hold it and switch. Hold it and switch. That'd be a really fun exercise if you randomly had a box that was the size of your torso. And just before this exercise starts, press it between your hands and knees and just hold the box. Holding the box didn't take away one arm and one leg. Ooh, yeah, I know. That should be everyone's homework. Maybe that'll be a bonus video for everyone. Okay, so now from here, rock the leg side to side. All is good. We want you to rock up to sit. Where are we going now, Alex? Teaser. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so we're going to make sure that wherever you are seated, that it's something where you're stable. We are going to pull both legs towards you into a hover and hold, opening the collarbone, taking one arm, then the other arm reaching for the wall in front of you. Both knees stay bent. From here, arms will reach the ceiling, arms will reach the shoulder. Good, arms will reach the ceiling, arms will reach the shoulder. Good, lift and lower, reach and long. Good, last two, up and down. Last one, lift and release. Good, you can hold onto the legs or you can come all the way back down to the floor. Next, arms will stay parallel or slightly higher than parallel. Knees will bend and straighten. Okay, good, okay. So we're hinged back, we are holding the wall up, straighten the legs to meet the hands and come back down. So up and back. 3. Hug those heels together for a little more stability. 4. And 5. Whoa, I think that's 4. Here's rule 5. There we go. So I was like, wait a minute, we're only going to 5. All right, team. If it's available, I want both of those to move at the same time. So that means straightening of the legs, lifting of the hands, and then coming back to where you started. Do, 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 do. If you need a modification, I'd rather you leave the arms out and just do the legs. So here you are. We are back. Hands and knees are ready to go. Straighten the legs, lift the hands, hold the ceiling up, pull the ceiling back down. Inhale, exhale, reach, 3, pull, back, 4, lift, and back. Last one, reach and release. Good. See, it's much easier when you break it down and build it up. Gold. Okay, so rock your hips side to side. If you need anything like that, go ahead and do so. Now, we're turning over onto your side. So not any of the traditional side lying series. This is just mostly what I've been doing before is hip stuff. So we are carrying on with the different planes of gravity acting upon us. So when you have your pillow set up where you want your head, pull both knees forward so that way they're at least like a whole femur's distance away from you. From here, lift the ankles up off of the floor. Keep the heels hugging. The heels hugging is beautiful all day today. This top knee, I want you to press up to the ceiling. So see how it's about my shoulder height? You're not going to go much farther than that because then your hip starts rolling open to the back wall behind you. Keep your hip square onto the wall in front of you. Press that knee up, pull that knee down. I know some of y'all are flexible and have plenty of turnout, so this is okay if you do go a little higher. Just keep your hips parallel to the wall in front of you. Good. So while your heels are hugging, we have 12 here. Inhale, bend, exhale, lift, and a lift, and a reach. I feel like now the moth has found a home in my window right there. Oh man, super annoying he is. I don't know if it's a he or she, but I'll have to do some biology on that. Last two, and one, and rest. Good, bring the ankles back down as well. Now the heels will separate. We'll keep the knees glued together, flex the toes so that heel's pushing away, lift the heel up. So rotate at the knee and then come right back down. Lift two and release. Three and four. Good. This hip stays relatively even. It will rotate slightly as well. So let that happen. Don't feel alarmed. It should rotate. And up. If you're connected in the right places, perhaps. Who knows? Who knows? And up. Good. Here's four more. Three and two. Last one. Good. Now from here, bring those knees back up, or bring the ankles back up. We will press this top knee up one more time. But now from here, we are going to place a fist on the other inner thigh, and we are going to press the knee into your hand and release. Now don't crush your hand, but just actively pull down and come back up. So pull the knee down and release. Pull the knee down and lift. Pull, release, pull. I know, gravity still makes you work on the way up. And lift. Here's four more. And three, pull. Good. Two, pull. Last one, pull and release. Fantastic. Okay, we have one more. Just like we did in prone and supine, we're going to pretend our arms out here. We are going to take our knee away from us, pull it forward toward our shoulder, and then back over the hip. Just have a relaxed foot with this. It shouldn't be too terrible, but we're going straight up, forward, and down. Up, forward, and down. So pretend like this is where your elbow is, if you're just holding the wall up in front of you, and release. So if one of the other versions didn't work for you, was painful in some way, and this one really does work for you, have this be your option for that. You don't have to go facing the floor, facing the ceiling, facing the wall. You can do maybe just facing the ceiling, facing the wall, facing the ceiling. You know, switch it around a little bit. I know, it's getting a little heavy. Now we're up, over. Last one, ceiling, forward, and rest. Okay, we're going to do the reversal, and then we will switch sides, I promise. So here we are, going forward toward your shoulder, up, and then away over the hip. Forward, out, and hip. So here's my imaginary situation. If I was facing prone, pulling it to the elbow, pushing it to the ceiling, and coming home. Beautiful. And out, five, and up, out, four. Good. Here's three, like how I just subliminally changed these to 10. And two. And last one. Maybe we'll do the 12s of these on Wednesday. We'll see what the schedule's got for us. Okay, so going to the other side, starting from the top of the order, we are starting with both knees in front, making sure that they are as straight out as best you can, like a 90-degree angle right here, bringing both heels up to the ceiling. We are pushing the ceiling away, bringing the ceiling back down, but more emphasis on the push, keeping hips square up towards the wall in front of you, and release. I'm going to keep my same pillow as I did the other side. And reach. You'll find that actively pushing this leg into the floor is a little more stressful than it was on the other side just because it's been worked, but have no fear. It is resting now. And back. Last four, last three. I like to have my hip here just to make sure I'm parallel. Two, and one. Bring the knee down, bring the heels down, keep the knees glued together, flex through that heel, press that heel up to the ceiling and back home. Two, release. 3, lift 4, good, 5, 6, reach, 7, 8, and 9, 10, last 2, 11, good. Keeping both ankles glued, lift them back up, lift the top knee up and hold. Create this nice little buffer zone right here on that bottom leg. Hug the legs together, press them away. Good, and hug, lift, hug, and out, forward, and back. 5, reach, 6, keep your feet on a shelf, 7, lift, 8, good, 9, and 10. Make sure you're keeping that hug, 11, and last one, 12. Release, release, release. Brilliant. Okay, so from here, we're imagining our arm is holding us up on the floor. We are bringing that knee away from us towards the elbow and down. Lift, in, and down. Lift, forward, and around. So once you've got that train, that circle in your brain, we can go ahead and relax that arm if you need it, or just keep it there. Doesn't matter. Get your little shoulder holding up some gravity, and lift, forward, and down. Last 2, up, forward, and down. Last 1. Hopefully this feels about the same kind of work that's going on. This shouldn't feel good. Let's go reverse. Go forward, up, and down. This shouldn't feel terribly different from side to side. If it does, let me know, and we'll probably need to work on a different range or a different stretch to prep you to get into this, because the work should just be coming from this mid to back glute situation right here. Nothing terribly too low or in front. So let me know. Let me know, and we'll talk about it. And we'll get some words. Good. And so we've got a forward, up, over. Here's last 3. Around town. Here's 2. And 1. Reach, up, over. Fantastic. See, that was easy peasy second side. Okay, come on to your back. Take one leg over, one ankle over one leg. Pull that leg towards you for a stretch. If this doesn't get enough juice for the hip pocket where we just did, I would just take this leg and pull that knee across to your opposite shoulder, still having your ankle support your, your hand support your ankle and your other hand support your knee as you come across the body. This one might be a little hard to see. Let's go ahead and show you the other side. So first off, try that one. And if it doesn't work, we're grabbing the ankle and knee. We are pulling that knee across the body. And then this is square up. Good. Pull it across and let it be square up. Here's last 2. Pull and release. Last 1. Pull. Beautiful. Okay. So now from here, everyone's second favorite are serratus push-ups. So come on over to face the floor. You are on your forearms. Whether you're on your knees or your toes is totally up to you. For my talking purposes, I'm going to be on my knees today because it's a Monday. Oh my goodness. Time is flying, guys. We've got a party. Okay. So you can have your hands clasped or separate, whatever is better for you. And you're just in a nice little plank, whether knee or toes. Now bring your heart down towards the floor. Inhale here. Exhale, push up and away. Inhale, hug the spine with the shoulder blades and push up. Good. Inhale and exhale. You might need to wing those elbows out a little wider if you can't quite feel your shoulder blades. Hug your spine. Good. Inhale, down. Exhale, press. Inhale and exhale. Here's last 4 and up. 3, lift. 2, up. And 1, lift. Good. Go ahead and press back either in a child's pose or just in a stretch of whatever sort to let the pressure come off of the elbow and forearms. All that good stuff. Okay, now from here, since we're just running a little bit out of time, let's get into kind of like a down dog or a just a forward stretch for the ankles and calves. Hands ideally are staying flat onto the mat. I want you to lift the right heel up, really get a stretch into the back calf of the left, or whichever one's down, and then switch. So really press the heel down, get into that calf stretch, and switch. Good. Press and switch. So just lift 1 and stretch 1. Lift 1, stretch 1, Lift one, stretch one. Really making sure that's the longest leg possible, so you're pressing off of your hands into that heel. And last two. And reach. Good. Last one. Making sure all that glute medius, glute minimus stuff gets moved because it's oddly connected to your heels. Walk your hands back to your toes, hang for another good second there. Then bend the knees, tuck the tailbone under, and curl the spine up. Reach tall to the ceiling, hold the ceiling, and round over. Round down, looking down towards the floor, holding steady here. You can rock side to side, you can just hang, and then we'll bend the knees, curl the spine to roll up, 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 up. Reach the ceiling one more time. Hold the ceiling. Take the arms all the way back and around. I know you can't see me, but they just swam up and around. And then from there, you are doing your little press down, keeping the gaze either neutral or looking up to the ceiling. And we'll bring the hands back to the small of your back. And then we'll press the hands down, open the heart. Maybe get a little nod, yes and no, or maybe. Good. All right, team. So that is going to be our Monday. And yeah,